So those of you who've been following me for a while will know that this is my Browning T-bolt, which is a little bit distinctive on the account of the fact that it's a straight pull action, but that makes it very strong. You see these lugs, the way they go into there, and it makes it really quick, because when you've got it shouldered, there's no faffing about. As well, what you'll find is with a bolt action, you'll tend to tilt the gun to rack the bolt, and then you've got to get back on target. So with this, you can be on it, sort of thing. So it's been really good for that. It's a lovely compact rifle. Those of you who've seen me shooting rabbits, you'll see that I have no problem at all head shooting rabbits at like 100 yards with it. But there's always been a slight Achilles heel, which is the trigger. So the trigger, out of the box, comes in at like £5. If you adjust it as much as you can take it down to about £3.5. But the problem is that if you want to shoot accurately, especially in a prone position, you want to try and avoid grabbing onto the gun here and just sort of pull the trigger. Because we'll come on to that in a minute. But you just want to pull the trigger because you have a tendency to pull the gun with each shot if you don't do that. But when you've got a really heavy trigger, you can actually pull the gun just by pressing the trigger, which is what I found with that. So group-wise, it's accurate enough, but you're not going to generally get it quite through the same hole. So I've been waiting for quite some time to get a jarred trigger imported from the United States, and the guys at Black Rifle finally got it in for me. So I went down to Milton Keynes to see them, and what follows is what happened. So yeah, I went down to Black Rifle in Milton Keynes, and obviously for most of you guys, you're not going to go down to his shop. You're going to go to his online, his website, where he's just got everything that you could possibly want. As I said before, look him up on Facebook if you search for Black Rifle, or if you just Google it, you'll find it. I can't link it in the description unfortunately because of YouTube's rules, but he has just got everything. It's a real Aladdin's cave of stuff there. Everything basically based around 2.2 rimfire AR-15s and all the upgrades for those, the grips and the fore ends and all that sort of stuff, but as well as a lot of the long range stuff like the MDT chassis that you can see there. In fact, Tom's just bought a new chassis based around a Remington 700 for a rifle he's going to build for long range competition. He isn't going crazy, because you can go crazy with that sort of thing, and then it ends up the league you're in. It's just basically whoever's got the most money wins, which isn't, much fun really. But building a long-range rifle, I must admit, I'm not normally a target shooter, but I could get into that, to be honest. I wouldn't really want to try and modify my Tikka for that, because it wouldn't be a great stalking rifle then. So yeah, maybe watch this space. I might consider that once I've got the pennies. Anyway, here we are, and they're just fitting the jarred trigger. Now, it's a funny one, really, because he seemed a bit surprised I was asking him to do it, because it's such an easy upgrade. You can see there's that little tab, and that's just the tamper-proof seal. So obviously, if you've got a Browning T-bolt and you take that off and it's under warranty, they won't warrant it anymore for fair reason. But there's a bolt under there, and if you unscrew that bolt, that detaches it from the action, and then there's a tab at the other end that hooks in a bit like an AK-47 mag. So once you've taken that screw out, the whole thing just comes off pretty easily, to be honest. I was actually really surprised how easily. And then the same in reverse for the new trigger kit. Now, as I said, they're about 240 quid, which it's a fair few quid. But when you consider something like an Anschutz, I'm looking at a 17 HMR soon, and I will be going for an Anschutz, but you'll pay like a £300 premium on a rifle like that, based around the competition, which is all around about £500 for 17 or 22 rimfires, whether it's Browning or if it's Tikka or whoever else. They're all about 500 quid. So you add a jarred trigger, it takes it up to the same sort of realms as an Anschutz, but the reason you pay that money for an Anschutz predominantly is because of the quality of the trigger. So it swings and roundabouts, really, and the thing breaks so low, it's like 20 ounces. So you're talking, the lowest it would go with a Browning out of the box when you turn it down is about 3.5 pounds. 20 ounces is like £1.25. And that's the heaviest one they do. And I think that's really what they generally get in, because people complain. People say, look, is there a way of making this trigger heavier? Because it's so light. But they also do a 16 ounce and they also do a 12 ounce trigger. Although I believe you can adjust that trigger to any of those weights if you want to, but it's not an easy job. I think there's a bit of gunsmithing involved to sort of adjust it, but really, yeah, you're never going to want to do that. But yeah, it went on okay, and yeah, I was happy with it. So as you can see, it's a great shop. They're great guys. I can't unfortunately link them in the description because of YouTube's sort of policies. But if you just go onto Facebook and do a search for Black Rifle, you'll find the group and all the details are there. Based in Milton Keynes, and he's got everything you could possibly want, to be honest, especially if you're a tactical guy. But also he's got these trigger packs, these jarred trigger packs. Now, when you're talking like, this is the heaviest one that you can get. It's 20 ounces, which is like 1.4 pounds. It's certainly a big improvement from this, which is 3.5, and this is plastic, and this is all metal. So yeah, and I think he's got 5 of them left at the moment. They're like 240 quid. So if you've got a T-bolt, I highly recommend it. But anyway, just to double check, see what the brake's like, because as I said, I still haven't actually shot this yet. So let's get it into the garden, and let's fire off a couple of shots. So as you can see, not a great group, it's alright, it's not too bad. That's probably much what I would be doing before, but if I'm honest, a lot of it is because it's breaking so soon, I'm not expecting it, so it's definitely more me than the rifle, but the brake is so clean. And as you can see, just sort of out of interest, 5 shots into the catalogue, and as you can see, nothing gets through. If you ever need to shoot into something with a 2.2 in safety, then this is what you want. It really, really does work. In fact, one of you guys the other day may have seen when I was out shooting about 200 yards with the 243, it still didn't get through the second one of these. So yeah, these really work. But anyway, I digress. This trigger is amazing. And to be honest, it's going to take me a bit of time to get used to it because it's just so light. You tend to release it before you intend to. But get yourself down to Black Rifle. As I said, he's got 5 of them at the moment. But if you want anything else, that's the place to go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Keep watching.